Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 11 of Future, and this one is titled Picking Up at Mother's Group. Oh dear. Oh, what's Kaminari going to get up to? Here we go. The next week at Mother's Group, Kaminari waited out the front of the building for Kiri and Ginny to arrive. He was leaning back against the bricks, one leg up against the wall and his free hand in his pocket, headphones on, staring at his phone as he scrolled through Insta, liking all of the babes' bikini selfies and suggestive shots. Hey bro, Kiri greeted him. Kaminari didn't hear. Kami! Kiri called loudly. Kaminari looked up. Oh, hey dude, he said, taking his headphones off and slinging them around his neck, clicking his phone screen off and putting it in his pocket. Hey cutie, he greeted Ginny, who reached out with a smile towards him. There's my baby girl, he cooed as she clung to his top and snuggled into him. Shall we go pick up the ladies? He asked her, sneaking a cheeky smile at Kiri. Kiri was about to tell him off, but saw that he was being cheeky and shook his head with a snort and a smile. All three of them headed in. Welcome, Ginny and Red Riot, the leader of the mothers group greeted them. Oh, and you've brought a friend, she added, smiling at Kaminari. I think I've seen you before. Yeah, probably on TV, he said with his signature sexy smile and a hair flick. I'm the stun gun hero, Chargebolt. A ripple of excited whispers went through the mothers of the group, and Kaminari smirked as he allowed the excitement surrounding him to grow. Amongst the amorous noises he heard a snort of disdain, and quickly looked to see who it was. A girl around his age with dead straight black hair and piercings galore was sitting at the back of the room chewing gum. Dressed in all black, with knee-high black leather boots, she was the epitome of girl that doesn't give a damn about you or your problems, and she clearly wasn't interested in his flirtatious introduction. They made eye contact for a second before she screwed up her nose and went back to scrolling through her phone. Kaminari's interest was piqued. Someone who's begging for my attention without being overtly interested, he thought, smirking before giving his attention back to the leader of the group. Well, lovely to have you here today, Chargebolt. Please make yourself at home, the leader said. Oh, please, call me Denki. No need for formalities, he said graciously. We're all friends here, right? You could have heard the panties drop right there and then. Ovaries were throbbing, single mothers were arranging their hair and straightening their tops. It was madness how his charm could command the room. Kiri was surprised. He hadn't seen Kaminari in a while, but he sure hadn't lost his touch with the ladies. Back in high school, he would hit on any girl that stood still long enough to be flirted with, but rarely would he get a bite. But as he aged, he seemed to be getting better, and his hit rate had improved. The morning's meeting commenced, and the babies were free to crawl around or lie on the kick mats, and the mothers chatted about all things babies and made plans for the next coffee date and park run. Kiri was a great father, and was quite happy to chat about what his little Ginny was up to. She could sit now, and was trying to crawl, but could only drag herself along with her arms, kind of like an army crawl. Kaminari, feeling all eyes on him, got down on the floor to play with Ginny and the other babies, and the mothers were drooling over him and making comments like, oh, if only my husband would play with the kids like you do, Denki, or, oh, you'd make such an amazing daddy. Kami was loving it, and feigning modesty as best he could. Every comment he made was met with a soft snort of abhorrence from the girl at the back of the room, who really didn't like his presence. She didn't seem to be there with anyone in particular, and no one had spoken to her, that he had seen anyway. Did she have kids? Why was she even there? He played with the babies until it was their lunch or nap time, then he sauntered over to where this girl was still posted up at the back wall. Her eyes flicked up as he walked over, and he gave her his best bright smile. She looked back down and ignored him. Hey, he said in a sexy voice. Come here often? She laughed cruelly. Is that your opening line? You think we're at a club and I'm a chick that you can just sling your usual pickup line at and I'll fall at your feet? Is that it? She asked, staring him down with a very intimidating look in her eye. She had stopped chewing her gum now and had her teeth gritted together. His face fell. Whoa, babe, I didn't mean any harm. Babe? Who the hell's babe? Not me. Get gone with you, she said with a snort before turning her attention back to her phone and holding up her palm to his face, very strongly indicating that the conversation was over and he was no longer welcome. He got the hint and turned to leave. Yeah, okay, don't get your knickers in a knot, he said as he turned to go back to the other women who were making begging eyes at him as he stood in front of this girl. "It was nice meeting you," he said in a loud enough voice for everyone to hear, showing that he was the bigger man, being so gracious to take time out to introduce himself to this girl. He would be lying if he didn't find her dismissiveness attractive. He liked a bit of a chase, as long as he would get a prize at the end, but he wasn't sure if he'd even get anywhere with this chick. Maybe she didn't actually like him at all, and this wasn't an act? Ginny gave him a giant smile as he approached her, and he scooped her up as she held her arms out to him. "Well, at least you love me," he said as he rubbed his nose into her cheek, earning himself an adorable giggle from her. Okay, Miss Girl, she really does not like Kaminari's presence. We'll have to find out what her deal is in the next chapter, chapter 12. See you tomorrow.